And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I'm touching base with you. It's Saturday. Oh, yeah. I'm just hanging out on a Saturday. I said, you know what? Let me just go live. I got this this mic I've had for a while. So I've said, you know what? I'm going to, instead of using my mic on my desktop, I will use it now with my laptop and see what the sound quality is like. Is the sound quality better? Hey, Anthony. Anthony Rollins in the building. How are you? Yes, I'm testing my new mic. That's the reason why I'm here. It's a rainy Saturday in New York City. It is storming out. Storming. When I say it is pouring rain. Anyway, good morning. I'm just going to do what I normally do. But I said, let me just hang out. How are you, sir? What's going on with you? What are you up to in your world? Is it how's the weather? You're in Texas, right, Anthony? You're in Texas. You like the way the mic sounds. It sounds nice. It's better than the other just I think it's better than my D I have the DJI. This is the DJI unit, but I think this is great for when I'm on the road. And I said, you know what? This mic is just sitting here. I've had it for 4 years. And I was like, I should be using this mic. So I finally took it off the other computer and now it's on my laptop. And I think it sounds so much better. I don't have to yell either because I can control my mic, but I'm trying to get the mic right. Oh, Anthony said it's a fuller sound. Ah, nice. Okay. Yeah, I like it. And also I'm using my headset, which I went out yesterday to buy a headset for I have a video shoot coming up later on this evening. And I'm gonna be photographing and videotaping a jazz concert this evening. And I said, I think I need headphones for my camera because last time I recorded it, it was low, but it didn't matter because they lined up what they synced the video with the sound. So they didn't really care about me using a mic system. So I am now testing this headset as well. So so Anthony, you are part of the audience of testing. There's no one else here but you and I. No one knows we are on. And let me see if there's anybody. Look, no one knows I'm online here today because normally I'm not here on Saturdays. It's a 49 degrees right now. Really, where you are? Oh man, it's cool. It's really cool where you are. It is cold. Computer, what's the temperature? Oh, it's 49 degrees here also. It's 49 degrees here as well. Oh, Anthony said, you got the alert. So, okay, so the alert did go out. So that means people know I'm here. It'll all go up. Yeah, it's gonna be today it's going to be really much it's staying at 49 and it's going to be a rainy day. They say from the heaviest rain is from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And they also we have flood warnings and all the other stuff. So yeah, it's not a good day in New York to be out and about. And I was thinking about going to the coffee shop and do some editing. But you know what? I said, you know what? I'm home. It's comfortable. I don't need to go out. I can just hang out right here. Anthony, how do you spend your days on your days when you're not photographing? First of all, I always wanted to know, is is photography your main gig or is your side hustle? Yeah, just wondering. Just wondering. Let's see here. Let's see if there's anybody else in the Instagram world. No, it's still quiet on the Instagram front. Wow. It's interesting. It's sad. I guess people are not used to me being online on Saturdays now. Well, no, I was on last Saturday. I was live. I was teaching, sharing people, sharing my neighborhood with everyone. Yeah, okay. It's just one of those days. It's a side hustle, but I want it to be a main gig. Ah, okay, gotcha. Good, good. Yeah. I mean, but be warned, when you take on photography as your main gig, it's a lot of roller coaster rides, up and down, jobs here, no jobs there, jobs here, no jobs there, and you have to figure out your cycle. You have to figure out your cycle. So, instance, I know that in December, there's very little work because people are thinking about Christmas. Unless they are hiring you for hiring me for an event, like they'll maybe doing a Christmas party, or they may be doing something at the church, or maybe they're doing something somewhere, and they'll say, "Hey, Ron, could you photograph this?" But it's usually like a ones and twosies thing in December. So I know December and January are my slowest months, which means next year this time I think I'm gonna start working on that probably, like, I should have started working on probably this month. It's March still, so I still got the into the end of the month, but I think I'm going to do a photographer's tour, maybe in Utah or someplace here in America, or maybe a photo tour here in New York City where people come out, but it has to be somewhere warm. It has to be somewhere where people wanna go and get away from the cold, and we walk the streets of a particular place and take photos. And I that's how I will make money during the winter months, is actually doing tours. So that is I'm going to add that to the business model, hopefully for this January coming up, and we'll see. I wanted to do at one time I wanted to do overseas and go to Ghana or something like that, but for the first one, I think we'll go stay domestic, and then the second one, we'll do international. Photography is my love, but known for the ebbs and flows can be wild. Yeah. So when it's busy, you gotta know it's busy and try to get as much work as you can, and then put your money to the side to save if you can, because there are slow months in the photography business. Anthony says, "My wife and I will be in New York City in June." Hey, oh, really? Oh, let's get together. I would love to meet you and your wife. That would be awesome. Let's hang out. Let's do a restaurant, or, you know, when in June? Is it the fourth? Hopefully, it's the fourth Saturday of the month. If it's the fourth Saturday of the month, then we have our RLP photographers meetup, and we meet in a different location, and everyone comes out with their cameras, and so that would be nice. That would be nice if you're coming to New York. Come during the fourth Saturday, but if not, doesn't matter when you show up. I'm going to make time to hang out with you. Oh, it's perfect. The weekend of the 21st. Okay, let me check the calendar. Let me see what is that the fourth Saturday or the third Saturday? I think that's the third Saturday. Hold on. I'm going to the calendar, going to the videotape. And yeah, June. 1, 2, 3. Yes, it's the fourth Saturday. Whoa, because yeah, we have our meetup on the 22nd. Yes. And there's a fifth Saturday in that month. So we also, well, the following week, we will be having our Touch Base Daily meetup as well. Look at that. Yeah, we got a Touch Base Daily on the 29th meetup, and we have our photographers meetup on the 22nd. What's going on, Amparo? Grand Rising, my dear. So, Anthony and I are chilling out together, and whoever wants to join us in our wonderful party, we're going to the Giants exhibition at the Brooklyn Museum. It's excellent. You will love it. So, Amparo, I have a new mic. Well, I have an old mic that I'm using. And I decided to finally use the mic. How does this sound? Anthony says it sounds much richer. The sound quality as I'm speaking to you guys um, is definitely, I can hear myself much better. Um, and it helps me to, because I'm listening to myself, it's helping me also to pace myself as I articulate my words. Yeah, Amparo says Richard also. Okay, so there we go. So the mic system is in. It is now plugged in. It is now set up for me to use my mic system. I was like, wait a minute. You buy products and you just let them go to waste, right? And I had this mic system for since COVID, believe it or not. I got this mic system in 2020. No, it's the year after COVID, 2021. She said, I can appreciate that. Yeah. So, but yeah, Anthony, when you come to New York, we are definitely hanging. How long will you be here? Are you coming for the weekend? Are you coming for the week? You can't come to New York for just a day or two. Everyone said, I do that all the time. I've got a Wycom tablet in a box. I have one, I have mine down below this desk, and I never use my Wycom. It's sad. I don't even know when to use it now. I don't even know how to, I don't even know I don't know why I don't use it, but it's right here. It's right here. I should be using my Wycom. Are you coming up for the weekend? Okay, so we're gonna have to you're gonna have to are you visiting family when you come up as well? Do you have family here in New York? Wow. But so you know what? So Anthony, when you go to Omar, yeah, he uses his. I mean, as a matter of fact, it was Omar that encouraged me to get one. You say, "Oh, it's your wife's birthday." Creature of habit. So, because I'm Pario. So, Anthony, if you're in town that weekend and you're going to go to the Brooklyn Museum, I may be able to join you either before or after, either to do lunch before you go to the museum or go for a bit after, and we'll meet up and have lunch at one of the restaurants on Washington Avenue. There are a lot of great restaurants on Washington Avenue, right up the block from from the museum. Or I should say down the hill from the museum. So you would love that. We can meet at a great restaurant and just have some food because you're gonna be hungry at some point. And then I would leave you and your wife to do your thing. Yeah, I think that would be good. Cool. So we are in. We are in, Anthony. We are in. So what are you guys doing today? What are you doing on this Saturday? Like I said, today I'm editing. As soon as I get off of this, I will be editing photos for all the headshots that I took a couple of weeks ago and get those to my client. The rest of them, I finish them off for my client on get them to them by Monday. I told them Monday you will get them. And so that would be good to get them their photos so they can pick the photos that they want the final edits to be. So these are going to be for the proofs. So that's what I'll be doing today. Empire says catch up on editing. In editing from first purgatory for the next week. Yeah, see, we photographers, we know what that is. Anthony says cleaning, editing, and working out. Anthony, are you a big workout person? Do you work out a lot? I walk a lot. I got weights right in the back here, and I hardly ever use them. I need to use my weights more often. Yeah, I do need to use my weights. And it's like this jersey. I was in, it's a rainy day, and I was like, I just want a big shirt to just lounge around the house. And I said, why don't I wear my football jerseys? I have so many of them. and they're just sitting in the drawer. I was like, I should be wearing these things out. They need to get worn. So today I put on my Seahawk jersey and it feels so good. I said, so I'm bringing out the old mic. I got my Seahawk jersey on. Yeah. He says, I used to, I'm getting back into the habit. Ah, okay, gotcha. And Paulo says, I need to add workout. I learned something magnificent yesterday about sleep and sun and melatonin. Everybody loves the sunshine. Sunshine is important, y'all. Sunshine is filled with vitamin D, which helps you in your what do you call it? In your immune system. Yeah. Is there a hum? Can you hear a hum? What is humming? I hear a hum. Ah, let me know if you can hear a hum. If you hear the hum, like I hear the hum in my headset. And so today's a good day to practice. Okay, no humming. Okay, so it's in, I don't know where it's coming from. Or maybe I can turn my headset down. I'll turn the mic. Nope, it's right there. It must be one of the monitors. I think it's this monitor. Nope, not that monitor. Computer, turn off right desk lamp. Computer, turn off left desk lamp. Nope, there's a hum. I hear it. I need to solve this. I need to solve the hum problem, but it is here in my head. Computer, turn on right desk lamp. Computer, turn on left desk lamp. Computer, turn on your left desk lamp. Oh, she's a little crazy now. You see how these computers, they get an attitude. Computer, turn on the left. Okay, computer, turn on left desk lamp. There we go. And see, glutatonin is an amazing thing we should learn more about. Yeah. Um, the sun is so important to the human species. We need sunlight. We need it. We need sunlight. And so, anyways, yeah, I'm trying to figure out where this hum is coming from, but it is only me. It's coming from somewhere. Okay, so now I realize that now I know why they have a like a mic thing, like kind of like in the air, because when it's on a surface, you pick up the sounds. So let me see if yeah, see, there's a hum in the desk, and I'm hearing the hum in the desk. And now I know why people use these mic things that just like that, which so you know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to go out and get a mic holder. I'm going to get a mic holder as soon as possible. So that way I can not hear hums. Wow, that's interesting. But that's why I said let me practice on this Saturday. There you go, Anthony. I'll be at B&H. This is a reason to visit B&H. Oh my gosh, B&H. Holy moly. That is photographers Walt Disney World. Amparo says Amazon. I do need one though. I do need a mic stand so that way I am not hearing the hum. It's so funny. because I don't even know why anything would be humming. So anyway, such such is life in this world of technology. But I definitely can, long as you guys are not hearing it, so which is good. So that means it's just in my headset. The sensitivity is so like that. If I here we go. Yeah, it's just a sensitivity. Empire says, I love B&H. I'm trying to break into their teaching circuit. Oh, really? Would you like to do that? Oh, that would be nice, Amparo. Hey, look who else has just joined us. Cass. Cass. Cassandra is in the building. Blessed Saturday. Interesting. Hi. Yeah, so I'm testing out my new mic, Cassandra. And I'm playing with it, and I'm having great conversations with Anthony and Amparo. The A's in the building, and now there's a C. The A's are in the building, and the C is here. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys have been following what's going on in politics, but I don't know if you guys are political junkies like I am. But what's really interesting right now is that Trump is saying, I have the $500 million, but I just don't want to give it. I mean, here his lawyers are saying he can't raise the money, and he's telling he you know what? It would be horrible to be a lawyer for Trump. Yeah, Cass says she can't hear the hum either, which is great. Good to test run. Yeah, this is the test run. But Cass, do you like the new sound of the new mic? Let me know. Yeah, we're a music group. Yeah, this community is photography lovers, music lovers. That's what this community has and that's our one of two of our common threads. Three, pretty much, I would say 90% of the people in this community are also like technically inclined to let me scratch that technically more into education, learning. They're interested in what's going on in the world politically, what's going on in the world as a Black community, what's going on with people of color, what's going on in government. And we all seem to have that same um, thread that runs through us. Oh, it says that we have 5 people in the room. Who else is in this room they're just not talking? They're not showing who they are. They're in the room. It says there are 5 people here. I guess that's wait, myself, Kaz, that's 3. 1, 2, 3. I know 4, but I don't know who's the 5th person. Who else is in this room? And they're not letting us know they're here. Anthony says, I love there she is. It's Kimmy Kim. It's Kimmy Kim is in the building. Yes, Kimmy Kim is so good to see you, dear. She says she's just lurking. She's just lurking. Oh, I love it. Nothing like the lurkers. There's nothing wrong with being a lurker. Anthony says, I love this community. Thank you, Anthony. And my whole objective and goal when it comes to this community is 1, to build community. 2 is to have a place for inspiration, some education, and that we all leave smarter than we arrived. That's my goal. I always tell you, they say, what's your goal? To leave smarter than we arrived. And even though I may have subjects that I bring up, I always leave smarter than I arrived. And so that's what my ultimate goal is that because you know what, I can put a subject on the table and say, hey guys, what do you think about the border? And then you guys start sharing your thoughts, and you guys then feed into the conversation. So I may have one perspective when I first start, but then I will have my perspective will gain, what do I call it? It would expand because of having that conversation with everybody in this space. So that's why I love coming on here every day, is because there's so many cool people here that have so many perspectives and not afraid to share their perspective. And that's the other part, is keep creating they say, wow, you're on live every day. And how do you do it? Well, first of all, it's therapeutic for me. I tell people it is easy for me to come on here now. I mean, at first I used to hate videos. And the reason why I started on Instagram coming on every day was because I mentioned to people, they're like, you know, Ron, I didn't know that. And I'm going to share with you guys. Maybe some of you know this, but most of you probably don't. Maybe Anthony, you probably don't know for sure. Is that when I was, I had just turned 58, I think it was, when I turned 58. And I said, wait a minute, I'm getting older. I live alone. If I fell down and bumped my head in the house, no one would ever know that I bumped my head and fell out and I'm knocked out somewhere. And I said, you know what? As a safe space for my friends and my accountability buddies, it was myself, BJ, Janet, um, Chris, and Gwendolyn and Omar. So it was about 5 of us, 6 of us. And I would come on every day just to touch base. That's why it's called Touch Base Daily. And I would come on every day to touch base, to let them know I'm alive. But not only to to let them know I'm alive, but to also let them know I wanted to see how they were doing. And then also because I did not like video. I was so uncomfortable with being on video that I said, I can kill two birds with one stone. I could come on every day and get used to being on video. Two, I can let my friends and accountability buddies know I'm alive. And that's how it got started. And that's how it got its name, Touch Base Daily, because literally we were just touching base with each other to just make sure all of us were doing well. See, Empire said, I didn't know this. Yeah, that's exactly this is how I started this. And then I was on every day. When I first started, I was on every day at 11:15, 7 days a week. Because the whole point was I could bump my head on Sunday and you won't know that I did until Monday. So I was on every single day. And I'm still on in some way every day. It's just that on Monday through Friday is more what I call scheduled programming, if you want to call it, or scheduled, planned. Saturday is not planned. I'm just here hanging out. And you guys are here. And I'm just saying, you know what? Let me just chill out with my Anthony, my Kim, my Kaz, and Paro. We're just hanging out. And whoever shows up. And that's what's really cool about doing that, and just coming on. But yeah, it started out as just being responsible in connecting with my accountability buddies. BJ was my accountability buddy, and Chris is my accountability buddy. Gwendolyn is my accountability buddy. Omar is my mentor. And so it was really just that. And then after that, several people began to join the community. It started to grow. And I was like, holy moly. Now the average every day there's about, when I'm online on Monday through Friday, there's we usually get up to 25 people in the room. 24, 23, 25, which is astounding to me that there are people that tune in every day to what we're doing here. And like I tell people, we're just starting. We're just starting. This is the first time after 2 years, I said, okay, you know what? Let's move it on to YouTube and see what happens. And YouTube is such a better experience. Um, and then I stepped it up with, subscribing to StreamYard. And so now I'm on StreamYard. And I'm just like, at first, when I first started with this, I was like, Gwendolyn, it's going to take me a long time to get used to this StreamYard thing. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to hang and do this. And my friends were like, Ron, you could do this. You can go on live and you can use StreamYard. I think you'll be good at it. And I think your learning curve will be short. And it was true. As soon as I started to do it, I got so excited about doing it. Then I started creating my banners. I went on to Canva, created the banners and the colors. Like you see all these colors here and all the banners and put together my QR code here so people can scan it at any time to know about me while they're watching. And you know, I got excited. So my brain just started to go on fire to like, wow, I can really do so much with this touch base daily, as in helping people and encouraging our community of artists, mainly photographers, because I love photography. But what I am curious about people. I have a hate and love relationship when it comes to the human species. Part of me gets like so angry that humans could be so mean to each other, and that makes me upset. However, I love the beauty of humanity. Humans can do so many great things. They can have so many. I mean, think about what humans are. I mean, when you look at some of the stuff we share on Focus Friday, and you see some of these Instagram accounts or YouTube accounts, and you're like, how did they think about that? How did they come up with that? I mean, what are they doing to create this thing? Human beings are incredibly creative, and I'm fascinated by human beings. And so, um, as I started to build this thing called Touch Base Daily, I said, it can't be the same thing every day. I can't just come on and say hello every day. So I would say about a month into this, maybe 2 months into it, when I started to realize it was going to be more than just me hanging out with my mentors and my accountability buddies. Um, I said, I need to give each day a category so that way each day has a purpose. Because I am all about purpose. I believe in purpose. So I said Mondays will be Motivation Monday. That's how we start the week. Tip Tuesday will be a tip on something, either business, because I'm one of the ambassadors to the Manhattan Chamber. And so it was really started out as business tips. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm a photographer. I think I could share a couple of photography tips every Tuesday. And that has gone well since doing it. Since coming on YouTube, I really focused on doing my tips because I can share my screen. I can now post things. I can use these banners and not. Yeah, I mean, I can just like throw things up here like that. I couldn't do that before on Instagram. Instagram was so limiting. I never saw the possibilities. So StreamYard gave me possibilities. I mean, like I'm interviewing, I like interview questions that I'm going to give you some insights here. I have a bunch of questions that are here all the time. If you were stranded on an island, what food item must you have? Or share 3 facts about you, or tell us about your career journey. These are all my basic questions of interviewing anyone. Who and what photographers inspire you? What projects are you currently working on? What is in the future for your business? So I have all these possibilities that are all like lined up and ready for me to have conversations with anybody at any given time. And then I can put in here my announcements like, you know, Touch Base Daily, meet and greet Gordon Parks, born black, March 30th, 2 to 4 p.m. I mean, look, I mean, this is the ability of doing this StreamYard on YouTube. Couldn't do this on Instagram. And so it just made me so excited about stepping this up. But then, like I said, then Wednesday became Wisdom Wednesday. And I suggest we should just talk about stuff about things that, made us smarter. And then after that, I said, you know what? I got StreamYard now. And I was interviewing people. I started interviewing photographers last year in my second year of being on Instagram. And then this year, being on YouTube through StreamYard gave me the ability to say, wow, I can interview photographers from all over the globe. And there's so many of us, I can share what other photographers are doing. Kim Kimmy says, organized and prepared. Yes, I believe you must be prepared. StreamYard is great always, like the features. Yeah, the features are incredible on StreamYard. I mean, for instance, I could go in here. I don't use them often, but I have my intro, my extro. I can do those things. When I get stuck, I don't use it, but I can put up and say, "You saw that? Be right back." So if things go awry, if something happens where I have to run to the bathroom, I'm prepared to do this. Yeah, I can do that. And or I can do this. Thank you, Patreon members. Your support helps us create amazing content. I really should be using that more often. But it is, and folks say, Ron, how do you able to afford to do this stuff? I mean, you do it, to go online takes a lot of work. It takes 2 to 3 hours out of my day to be here. Yeah, it takes 2 to 3 hours. Like you see me for an hour online, but it takes 2 to 3 hours to be online. That's why I'm usually online only one part of the day. You very rarely see, I mean, I'll post here and there, but most of the time I am online only for 3 hours. I know, I mean, well, hour here that I'm with you guys, but it takes an hour to prepare for coming on live. It takes an hour. Well, I like politics, so I need to do all my homework. So I'm usually doing my homework all night long and all day long, learning about whatever's happening in politics, what's happening in the Congress, what's happening in our communities, what news the headlines. So I'm like constantly looking at that stuff every day, all day. But it's not work for me because I do that every day. And so when I come on, so the last hour before coming on, I usually come on. I come into this what we call the studio because StreamYard calls this a studio, a virtual studio, and I come into the studio and I put together my last minute notes like on politics and headlines as I scurry through CNN, Associated Press, Al Jazeera. What other news sources do I use? I use BBC. and then I'll use also other platforms that are newsworthy, like MSNBC, a lot of their anchors and their conversations on their talk shows. And so I'll pull information from all of those areas that I think may be important to you guys. So that's what I do during the day, during the, while I'm working on other projects. But it takes 3 hours of my day to be on here live. And then once I get off, then it's another hour because then I am going through. Let me show you what I end up doing on some of this stuff. Can I can I indulge you? So we'll just have I was not planning to do this, but hey, look, you know what? That's what's beautiful about being live and just hanging out with your friends. Because I'm sure you probably say, what is Ron doing behind the scenes here? So let me share this. Let me share my screen with you guys. Um, yeah, here we go. So you see, this is my page, right? So for instance, yesterday we had our Focus Friday with weekly special guest Chris Edwards, right? So we're on there. And here we go. There we go. Here we go. So I click on this. It automatically comes on, but then I go right into what's called edit video mode. And so after every time I'm online, I have to go in and add the description. Now, there's certain things that are already here in the description, but then I have to go in like Focus Friday with a special guest, Chris. Then I put in here each Friday, that's pretty much there on. I go copy paste from my templates. And then I go in and say our favorite YouTube accounts, which was yesterday. And I put in here Indie Soup. That was one of our accounts that we talked about on Focus Friday yesterday. Then I go in and say our favorite IG accounts. And then these are all the accounts that we talked about yesterday. So that way people have that information. Yeah, TB says, I can't join often, but thanks for all that you do, Ron. Oh, TB, thank you so much. But yeah, and so I go in and I have so an hour, it takes about an hour after to do that because I have to put this together. And then after that, then I have to go to my Instagram page, go into the Instagram page, click on the Instagram page, right? And then go into edits and then pull that information, copy and paste, and then put it into here, and then kind of like help it make sense in Instagram because Instagram has a different format. So I have to kind of like just change it up just a little bit. Sometimes I'll add little points like here, like the little red dots on my pins and stuff like that. I'll put into my Instagram. So I'm working on two platforms. Instagram and YouTube. Those are my main platforms. But then after I do all of that, Lord, then I go into, are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for this? So I go into my like for instance, let me go back to an interview I did also. So I go in and I create shorts to advertise my interviews. For instance, this week we did Wisdom Wednesday. This week we had Dwayne Knight on, who talked about personal funeral. He's a professional funeral photographer. So we had a great conversation. I mean, I he gave us some really good insights on Friday. Sorry, on Wednesday. But after he does the show, or after any guest comes on, then I do what's called the shorts. And that requires to go in on the StreamYard and go through pieces of the video, find the pieces that I think are going to be encouraging to people, and then share it in a small video.
And so what I
Yeah. And so I can do that. And then in here, there's embedded music so that as the short is going, I put in a little soft music in the background. And then I put that out to the world. So then I post it on my next door. I put it on shorts for for YouTube. Then I put it in stories, in Instagram stories, TikTok stories, because I want people to know what we're doing here. So this is taking on a whole nother part of my, should I say, could I call it a business model? But yeah, so a whole lot goes into it's just not coming on and getting off. Those days doesn't happen that way. It really is a lot of work before and a lot of work after. So it cuts into obviously my work time. so so but what is also done is kind of like, even though it has cut into my work time, let me just stop sharing this. Hold on a second. Even though it's cut into my work time, it's also giving me more visibility as a photographer, because now so many people know me for being online every day. So it has increased my business visibility without advertisements. I see here, Cass says, yes, format is different. I need to edit more, learning along the way. Hey, that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm talking about it. Like, I know some of you guys who like to do your own thing too. And so this is a little couple of snippets of what I've learned. And I've been doing this only for well, it's going on 9 weeks. 9 weeks I've been doing this on YouTube. Cass says, part of your scheduling and routine is, I am a believer of schedules. I cannot function on a whim. Cannot do it. That's just not how I operate. So that's why people say, Ron, you're on every day at 11:15, every day, 11:15. If I'm going to be on, it's 11:15 because it's already in my calendar. In my calendar at 10:15, it says, going live on Touch Base Daily every morning, whether I do it or not. It's already embedded in my calendar. And so it's an hour reminder beforehand. But in order to do this is why my Patreon community is so important to me. It's the Patreon community that are, I mean, Kaz is part of the Patreon community. A couple of other people are part of the Patreon community. And I have Patreon sponsors to do what I do that give me $3 a month to $100 a month. Literally, there are two sponsors of what I do online that through my Patreon send $100 every month, so that way I could be a blessing to others. Which sometimes it makes me want to cry that people would believe in what you're doing and contribute to what you're doing. So it's the Patreon community that supports this, because literally, what, to be on StreamYard every day is $25 a month, right? Obviously, that eats into your business model, but it's the Patreon community that pays for it, because the Patreon community altogether gives me about $388, I think it is, to put towards doing this. So the hour now, usually when I'm photographing a project, when I have a client, hey, Dr. Tachi's in the building. When I have a client, I usually charge, pretty much my hours is usually $300 an hour. That is what I charge. For entities that are not for profit and that are trying to make a difference in the community, then I do roughly $200 an hour to help them out. So I cut off $100 an hour for um, not for profits. Probably shouldn't be saying all this, right? But I'm transparent, so it doesn't matter to me. Um, but what I do is I subsidize that again with Patreon. So my Patreon community allows me to help not for profits that are helping young people in the community or raising money for toy drives in the Bronx or for the Brooklyn Conservatory of Music, who I am one of their photographers. I don't charge them full rate because one, I am one of their regular photographers. So anytime they need me, they call me. I usually also give them first dibs on my calendar. I'll send a note out to them and say, hey guys, what are your important dates of the year that you want me to put on my calendar? So that way I will be able to photograph for you. But it's the Patreon community that supports that, right? Because for everything you do that's not making money on those hours, then there's hopefully a community or something that's making up for it. So like 2 years, was it last year? I think it was last year. I think it was last year. Last year, I'm on the board of a high school in Long Island City, and they were raising money for um, graduation, and they were looking for contributors. And so, because of the Patreon community, I said, you know what? I'm going to, and I told people on live here, I said, I'm going to take $100 from the Patreon and donate it to the school. Well, that didn't sit well with the, that didn't sit well with this community. Before I knew it, the community burst out and said, wait, Ron, we want to help. And so we ended up as a community giving to the school. I think we ended up with $350, almost $400 for that school for kids to be able to get their prom, to go to their prom. So that's what we do with the Patreon. The Patreon helps me do this kind of stuff. Patreon helps me come on here an hour of my day, really 3 hours of my day to do this, and then also to give to entities that I care about. And I think as I care about those things, I know that this audience cares about them as well. This is one of the most caring audiences I have. It's so funny because I am closer to a lot of people in this community than I've been with friends that I've had for years and decades. Some of you guys, I talk to you guys every other day. Some of you slide into my DM. Some of you call me. Some of you have conversations during the week. Yeah, so this has become my friendship circle. I have obviously my friends I grew up with, some of my neighbors, but this community has really done more for me than I could ever do for it. And so it gives me joy to come on here every day and or like on our Patreon community, I always give back on Thursdays, the third Thursday of the month. We do classes and I teach photography. And so, which is really cool because that's usually the time where people in this community get to see each other in person. Like right now, everybody see each other as names in the comment box. But in the Patreon community, a lot of folks get to see each other visually. We used to do it on Zoom, but we just started doing it on StreamYard this week just passed. And Dr. Tachi was there, Kaz was there. Who else was there? And it was Tachi, Kaz, and oh, my brain is slipping. Who else was in the room? It will come back to me. But yeah, they were in the room, and Janet is usually with us, but Janet, one of our dear friends passed away yesterday, and so Janet was on duty to help. I'm sorry, on Friday. Yes, it was Friday, so she couldn't be there with us on Thursday. One of my dear friends that was really one of my pillars. I'm losing my pillars, and I was telling Gwendolyn yesterday. I said I am so. I know I'm talking about a lot of things today, but they all merged into one. Um, I was talking to Gwendolyn yesterday and said, I am so happy to be surrounded by so many great women. I obviously lost BJ last year, who was my accountability buddy and a real foundation to this community. And then yesterday I lost Barbara, who's one of my when I decided to become a full-time photographer and to leave my job to become a full-time photographer, she was one of the people that I sat down with and said, Barbara, this is what's happening in my life right now. These are the doors that are opening for me. And I think it is time for me to leave my job and do this full time. And I always tell people, when you get an idea, don't just res- don't just react and just do it impulsively. The old saying is that there's wisdom in the counsel of many, right? There's wisdom in the counsel of many. And so when I decided to go full time as a photographer, I went to about 12 people in my life, 12 strong pillars in my life that are what I call will tell me the truth, right? I did not want anyone that was a yes man in my corner, even though they're cool sometimes to have a yes man there, here and there. But I went to people that were going to be honest with me and say, Ron, you are making a bad decision. Or Ron, this is a good decision. Or Ron, you need to think about this some further. Or Ron, did you think about this? Ron, did you think about that? Well, and I have several of those people in my life that I roll ideas off of all the time, even when I'm doing this stuff. Anyway, Barbara was one of those people that in the very beginning, and I said to her, I said, what do you think? And she was like, Ron, and she gave me the license to do it. She's like, Ron, everything is happening, everything is falling into place. It is your time. And I will never forget her words to me. Now, Barbara um, has a long career of helping people. She was in the music industry she was one of the first Black women in the music industry to be in what's called an impactful role. I think it was Arista she used to work for. And when all of the celebrities came to town in New York, she was responsible for them enjoying the city. She used to take them to all the clubs and all the restaurants, and she was responsible. And so she was a woman of much wisdom. She's the same age as she was the same age as my mom. And so it was like having it was like having a second mom or a third mom, 'cause I have a couple of moms. But she was like one of my moms. And and I could just brush ideas off her. Or she would call me up and say, Ron, what are you doing today? And I was like, doing nothing. You want to join me at the art gallery? That's how I really got into my art gallery hopping, was through Barbara. So Barbara used to say, hey, I'm going to the gallery today. Do you want to join me? I said, absolutely. I get up, get on the train, head on to Manhattan, and we go to the gallery together. So anyway, I say this, I'm saying all of this is that to close this out. Because what time is it? What time are we at right now? Because I want to make sure I respect your time. Oh, it's after we're overtime, but we'll be overtime to 12:30. And she would give me all kinds of feedback. I would talk to her about what was going on in my world and what was happening and sharing. But it is important. What I loved about her is that she was in her late 70s when I met her. And she is she passed away in her 80s, yeah, this week, yesterday. She had friends that were decades younger than her, and she had friends that were decades older than she was. She had friends that were, when I first met her, she was in her 70s. She had friends that were 90, 100 years old, 85 years old. And then she had friends that were 25 years old, 30, 40, 50 years old. She had friends from every generation. And that's what gave her her vitality, her youthfulness. She used to be out and about. She was what we call a city um what do you call it? City light. She just like she went to all the big, she was like Studio 54 back in the day. She was at the, she was living her best life, traveling the globe, going to Paris, going to London when Black people weren't doing it as much. She came from she was like a Renaissance woman. And so she taught me that it is important to have friends from all backgrounds, from all age groups. That's why I get so excited about my older friends. Like you see, I'm committed to my older friends, but I'm also committed to my younger friends. You know, I have friends like my best buddy that I go to Lincoln Center with is in his 20s, and we go to listen to chamber music together once a month, twice a month. You gotta have friends from different perspectives, backgrounds, cultures, age. So on this Saturday, if I'm going to leave you with some wisdom, I mean, look how this unfolded, right? At first, it was just Anthony and us hanging out, but I always like to leave everyone smarter than they arrived. And if there's any wisdom I can give you today, and also as a tribute to Barbara, she's transitioned, is embrace the relationships that the universe, in some cases, some folks will say God brings your way, because no one has to be your friend. No one has to care about you. No one has to feel any connection to you. No one has to see you online and say hello to you and say, "Hey, I'm here, Ron." Or like Trish saying here, "Love that, Ron." You know, as she said again here too, multi-age friends is very important. Trish says, some come and some go. Appreciate the time. Thank you, Dr. Tachi. She says, so sorry for the loss of your friend. Yeah, I wasn't planning to talk about this today. I wasn't really. I was just like coming on to hang out. This is a Saturday vibe, though. This is how we do on Saturdays. We're just hanging out, chilling out, just having a conversation. I'm having a conversation with you. Hopefully, you guys are participating by sharing and putting into the comment box. But yeah, that's the wisdom. The wisdom is, and don't be afraid to meet new friends. The beauty of social media, not like our parents when they were growing up or our grandparents. Once their friendships died, they had no more friends. And that's why most older people would die alone, because there was no mechanism to continue friendships or to stay in contact. right? We don't even need our phone books anymore, right? We all get to meet our friends online. Check out what's going on Facebook. Check out what's going on Instagram. Check out what's going on here. Check out what's going on. And we get the beautiful, this is what technology has given us, the longevity of friendship. It gives technology, the internet, online relationships, social media has given us longevity of connecting with the people we love. That's the beauty. And so I would say, whether you meet online or you meet in person, cherish your relationships, cherish your friendships. But not only that, don't be afraid to gain new friends. I love the fact that I have new friends in this community. If I would have never listened to my little voice inside my head that said, go on live every day, I wouldn't have all these new friends like Trish, Dr. Tachi, Cass, Anthony, right? I met you guys online. And it goes on. Daya, Bryson, Derek. There's so many people in this community that I'm friends with that I have online, offline conversations with. Amparo, right? Amparo, I met Amparo because we celebrated her Instagram page and she decided to stay. She said, you know what? I like these folks. I think I'll hang out with y'all. Right? And that's how it is. You build relations. That's why I linger, like, when I end these touch base dailies and I let the music go for a long period of time, is so you guys can connect with each other. So you can say hello and kind of like chat it up for about 2 or 3 minutes after I end my touch base dailies. And the music is going and you're connecting. The point is that we all build relationships. It's about friendships. It's about building relationships because it's our relationships that give us wisdom to take on all the tasks that are before us. We need each other. No human is an island to themselves. We need each other. So, anyway, just wanted to close out. Yeah, this was I did not plan today. There's no schedule for Saturdays. So this was all, as they say, this is all impromptu. This conversation was impromptu. And um, and I just, like I said, I love being here with you guys. I love that I get to spend time with you all. And yeah. And also, again, to all the Patreon members that are in here, thank you so much for your support. You make this happen. I could not do this without my Patreon community. So thank you for that. For those that are interested in, I was not planning this, but if you're interested, I'll find my little banner here that is in here somewhere. Here we go. If you're interested in joining the Patreon community, you can do so. That is great. We have what's called paying members and non-paying members. The paying members support what I do, as in doing this stuff, and also support some of my charities that I love to support as well, and helping not-for-profit businesses that are out there that are serving the people. So you're more than welcome to join that and contribute a month, whatever you decide. But I am extremely blessed to have it as a platform that people can, folks always say, Ron, how can I help you in what you're doing? I said, the easiest way, just become a Patreon member. That's really the easiest way. The other way, most of us artists will say, the best way to touch artists is to purchase their work, Purchase their work. We have a lot of photographers that come on. We had Kamal X here, and some of you bought his book. That's how you support artists. You support them by supporting what they do. Okay. Thank you guys so much. The good and the bad, Trish. Yes. And just send cash. It's so funny that happens too. This community has been so funny in so many ways. You guys have done the most unexpected stuff in this community that I've been shocked. Like being on the street and someone says, "Run, oh man, you want to get that?" And then next thing you know, someone says, "Put up the Cash App number." And then next thing you know, you guys bought one of my outfits that I wear. So it's like that came out of nowhere. I did not plan that kind of stuff. I'm very sensitive to money stuff. I grew up in church and I saw how certain people, certain churches and entities and organizations have misused funds, and so I'm squirmish about. And BJ used to tell me, "Ron, you gotta tell people." She used to tell me in my ear, "Ron, you didn't mention it today. You didn't mention about your Patreon today." So she used to be my voice in my head. She was my accountability buddy, and she would tell me, "Stop it, get over it." And so it's true. Just get over it. Just just put it out there to people. People respond and people don't, right? So obviously we're not doing our meetup today. Our meetup is canceled because it's storming here in New York. So our meetup is canceled for today for our photographers meetup. But next week, next Saturday, if you are in New York, we will be meeting at the gallery. Let me put that on the screen. Let me take this off. Let me take this off the screen and give you where we'll be meeting next week. We will have our Touch Base Daily, our second Touch Base Daily meetup. We'll be at the gallery. You can just go to Touch Base Daily on the Meetup app. Touch Base Daily on the Meetup app, and that information will be there. I just realized there is a fee that was on the Meetup app, so do it. You can do it or not. Either way, you can show up. It doesn't matter if you become a member of the Meetup app, but it will help you there's some things that we'll be doing for the Meetup app, which are for members of the Touch Base Daily Community Meetup, because you got to pay for the Meetup app. you got to pay to be on the Meetup app. Okay, so come on out and let's have a good time next Saturday at the Born Black Gordon Parks exhibition. And I do believe also the new book from is also available on Amazon. That is going to be on Amazon. I think it's on Amazon now. The new book series called Born Black by Gordon Parks. I think put out by the Gordon Parks Foundation. I just noticed it kept saying, "What is this popping up?" Yeah, there is a pay fee for the Touch Base Daily community on the Meetup app, because later on there will be things that only those folks will be doing things. So just like the RLP photographers meetup, there is a fee to be at to do it for the year. It's just once a year, and that helps pay for the app. Thank you, Dr. Tachi. Everything has cost, because it costs to be on here. It costs to do all the things that we do. Okay, so Anthony said it's an Amazon pre-order. Yeah, the book is releasing soon. And I'm not sure if they will have copies at the gallery. I'll find that out this week. As a matter of fact, I have to call them and let them know how many people are showing up. As far as I know, there's about 2 or 3 people that are going to be meeting me there, so I will let them know. But again, I want to be fair to the people at the gallery. So please let me know if you're going to show up and sign up for that event. Okay. I saw other meetups, did not know you were there too. Yep, I'm in the meetup. We are on meetup. We are on meetup. And that's how we do it. That's how we can plan our events. So guys, I hope you enjoy the new mic system. I hope you enjoy the mic system. I think it's going to do better for a podcast. I think this sounds more like a podcast. So thank you for indulging me as I practice today with this mic system. And as you see, you probably say, Ron is wearing a headset. So I am stepping my game up. Each day I get better and better at this thing here on StreamYard and YouTube and all that good stuff. Are there people, have there been people? Yeah, well, there's a lot of people that have come through the Instagram page. And so we'll see. There's people there. It always says 0, but then it shows all these people are in that have joined. Don't know what that means. I don't. Okay, maybe they're joined and then they come over here. I don't know what's going on with those numbers. Okay, it's time to get out of here, guys. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Okay, guys. Let me sure I got all the sounds good. Heck of a test run, right? Anthony, I just came on just to say a couple of words, right? And now we had a whole Touch Base Daily show. Oh God, Dr. Tachi, yeah, Dr. Tachi, I wish you could be here too because I would love to see you do do your gallery thing, your gallery talk. That's how I met. That's how I met Dr. Tachi, was her presenting from an art gallery. I said, "Who's this woman? Her voice is so amazing." Later, guys. See you on Monday.